Hello, welcome to Geeks Unleashed. This is episode 87, and I am Mark.
And I'm Jasmin. If in case you forgot what we look like, here we are again.
Or sound like.
Yeah.
So, here we are
and
again. Yeah.
Before we get started, if you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. And please remember to subscribe and click the bell, as Mark calls it, the notification button, so that you know when we upload new videos. And if you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, thank you so much. We would also appreciate reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or Spotify.
And before we go any further, me and Jasmin do not remember what we are doing.
No, we are rusty. Yes, very.
I actually couldn't even remember who Jasmin was when I came on the Zoom.
Yeah, when I let Mark into the Zoom, I was like, "Who the hell's Mark? Mark, that name sounds vaguely familiar." Vaguely familiar.
We made a few inappropriate jokes, but we will not share them because they are inappropriate jokes.
And you're welcome for us not sharing them.
Yes, we were like, we have jobs.
That we want to keep them.
Yeah. So,
yes, that's what that boils down to.
We literally spent about an hour and a half probably insulting each other before we came on here.
Yeah. But to our credit, like we haven't actually podcasted in about 6 weeks. So we have taken a small hiatus and everything is rusty as we come back.
It's quite funny earlier when so my oldest daughter came to the school with me to do the pickup, and one of the other parents was driving past and like put their hand up to wave at me, and I put my middle finger up.
You did not. You did not.
I did. Yeah. Anyway, but they were like, because I do that occasionally to people I get on well with.
Oh, okay. So you know them.
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't someone I didn't know. No, it wasn't someone I didn't know.
That doesn't come across like.
No. That's what I said. Another parent, like, so they waved at me, and then I gave them the finger, and then they were like, and then when they pulled up, they were like, "What the hell?"
Exactly.
But then we were laughing about it. And I said, "I only do that to friends. I don't like." And they were like, "Ah, okay." Laughter.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that, Mark.
And then my oldest one goes to me, "Why do you do this to all your friends?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's been with me before, like even when we've been driving, like, and I'm like, and then she's like, "But why do you do it to all of your friends?" I was like, "They do it back." Like, I was like, "It's not a one-way thing." Like,
are you sure?
Friends are rude to each other. Like
okay. Well, okay. Maybe you're. I don't do that. I don't do that. Like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? No, there's none of that.
You should start doing it.
No, I'm not going to start doing that.
Like next Friday, your challenge is to tell me how it went with at least two of them. Just like when they wave at you if you're getting past, and then you go like that.
Oh no, not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Please. I want to know. Okay, one person, your boss. No.
Now that one. Yeah. To be continued. We shall see what happens with that. But no.
I'd really love it. Like if one of your friends strolls past and they're like, "Oh, hi, Jasmin," and you're like, especially if you've never done it before and it's out of character, that would make it actually so much better.
Oh my god, my friends would tear into me so bad. They would be like, "What the hell?"
Oh, please do it, please. No. Like literally, I'll buy you drinks in April. Like I'll buy you like a cocktail or something.
Speaking of April, by the way, we are finally, after 8 years. How long has it been? 10 years?
Well, it's been
8 years?
9 years. 9
yeah,
years.
It's been a long time. But Mark and I, we are finally going to be in the same city at the same time and actually meet each other in person for the first time coming up in April. So we're super stoked about that.
And we also said that so what's happening is I'm flying my wife and kids to New York for a weekend, 5 days kind of. And Jasmin will be there, and we're going to meet people that we've had on this podcast and some that we haven't. And what will happen is, because obviously my kids are there with my wife, she will meet us initially. She will go back to the hotel with the kids. I will go out with Jasmin and everybody. And I just said to Jasmin, "Do you think my wife will kill me when I come in at 2 a.m. off my face?"
Yes.
Like, probably. Definitely. So yeah. I don't know how. I don't know how right now. Like, do I just say to her, "By the way, you're going to be mad in the morning"? Like,
I mean, I think you should at least try. Like, to try to not make her upset in the morning. Like,
well, no, I mean, like, yeah, obviously, like, but I mean, she might be annoyed when I come in at 2 a.m. Like, so.
well, I mean, you could still come in like at 2 a.m, but like, don't come in at 2 a.m, like completely schnockered.
Like, it's falling against the walls and stuff.
Yeah. Don't be like fall down drunk.
Like, who put that wall?
A
Who put
little
that
bit
wall
tipsy
there?
is okay, but like, don't be
Who
fall
put-
down drunk.
Okay, well then I will say I will pass it back to you lot. Do not buy me shots because shots will be the end of me. Like,
Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I'll do one shot. But I'm not doing. If you start going into silly world of shots, then like I will best not go home. Like,
Listen, I have not even decided yet if I'm going to be drinking at all. So we'll
gotta
see.
have one drink
One drink
or 5.
or we'll see.
Oh, you've got a drink now. You've said that. Like, that's just like setting me up for a challenge. Like, I'm not going to drink. Yes, you are. Like,
Oh, well, I mean, you can try. We'll see.
Just
We'll
spiked
see.
your drinks. Like, that's a joke. Clearly, I'm saying
Yes.
things I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like,
See, again, we have already forgotten how to podcast. Once again.
No, when I say that, it's just a joke between me and Jasmin. Clearly, I don't mean that. I am. And when I said spike, I meant just with alcohol, like nothing else.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was an inappropriate, insensitive joke by me between friends and you listeners. I apologize. I'm really digging a hole.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
like,
oh man.
gonna
Again,
have
I'm chalking up to being rusty.
what's on your t-shirt?
Spartacus Vengeance.
Oh,
The
okay.
Final season of Spartacus.
Oh, I've
good.
not seen any Spartacus.
It's so good. So
One
good.
day. I've got here is super dry, like not a geek thing.
See, the first time I saw that, I thought that was like a dry cleaner. And I asked Mark, I was like, so does your dry cleaner make like t-shirts? That's weird.
It's so weird that you don't know what super dry is.
Never heard of it.
So super dry is a designer, mainly UK, but I do know that they have a super dry shop in Disney Springs.
See, well, I've never been to Florida.
What?
So never been.
I thought that's literally where Americans go on holiday.
No.
I thought you all go there.
Never been.
Oh.
My first Disney experience was in Hong Kong.
So
that was the first time I'd ever
that's what
went
you
to
were about to
Disney.
say. Yeah, I thought that's what you were about to say. So in the last 6 weeks, obviously don't tell me every day what you've done. Like,
I got up
on Tuesday. I got up on Tuesday.
I ate oatmeal. Then I went to work. No, none of that. It's been a really busy time. I started taking a finance class that has taken up a lot of my time. After work has gotten busy. Also, I just got back from Mexico. Had a blast. Went down there for a tennis tournament. That is the first international trip that I've taken since COVID hit. The last international trip I took was in 2019. It was the week of Thanksgiving. I went up to Canada and I got to see moose.
Too. I said the last time I went abroad was at the end of 2019 as well.
Yep. So it was fun to get out there. I got a tan. I also, sand can get very hot. And if you walk on sand barefoot, you can burn your feet. And so I burned both of the bottoms of my feet very badly. They are still wrapped and taped right now. So that makes doing a lot of other things complicated. Like I haven't been able to work out because like can't do too much on my feet. So that has been very annoying. Hopefully that will clear up before my next trip, which is coming up pretty soon. So fun times.
I don't know, like in the last 6 weeks, mine's been as action-packed as yours. I think it's been like mainly work. And watching Power. And gym and stuff and walking and all that kind of stuff. So I've like lost 3 stone, I think, in the last 2 or 3 months.
Oh, that's another thing we talked about is we're jokingly talking about starting up like a Geeks Unleashed fitness club or something because we've both been working out.
Oh, were we joking about that? I can't remember.
Yeah, me, you, and Steven.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because he started working out too.
Yeah.
I I've kind of hit a middle ground now. I don't seem to be able to go beyond 14.5 stone, which is really annoying. So I think I just need to work harder or just not eat.
I don't recommend both of those things.
Altogether, just work out twice a day and don't eat for a month. And then
I don't think that's going to go over so well.
No, I think it will go badly.
Yeah,
so
very.
No, I know what I need to do is fizzy drinks is my enemy.
Drink more water.
More H2O.
More water. It is the absolute easiest thing you could ever do for yourself. I don't know what that is. Is that water?
Coke.
No, don't. No. Like full sugar Coke?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no. That has to go.
I know. What am I going to replace it with?
Water.
It with? Yeah, it doesn't have the same kick like that. But
you can buy those little drop things that you put into the water to flavor it.
Oh, yeah. Squash.
No, not that. That has a lot of sugar in it.
No, you can get no sugar squash.
Okay. It's still so weird that you call it squash. This is my daily like British lesson of like British
daily.
Things. Daily household British things that I don't know anything about. Squash is not actually a vegetable. It is a fruity thing that you put in your drink. What is it again?
Squash is like orange juice, but like heavily concentrated. So you just put a little bit in the water and then it dilutes it, and then you've got like a glass of. It's not like orange squash. It's not like orange juice because obviously juice is like pure orange juice, but this is like orange squash or.
So it's like Tang.
Yeah.
Well, but Tang is powdered, but still.
When I meet you in America, I will show you what squash is like. If we have to have a lesson, like.
Oh my God, we should totally record that.
Jasmin, this is a bottle of squash. This is a glass of water. This is what happens when you put the two together. Like, it won't be that amazing, I can promise. You'll have a sip of it, and you'll be like, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't branch out with what I drink. Like I drink tea, iced tea with no sugar, and I drink water and coffee. And that's pretty much it.
I hate coffee. So
yeah. It's delicious.
Okay, so I am on the 6th season of Power. I actually loved Power, but season 5 was not that good. So season 6 is also so far not that good. I'm not very impressed with. I really like the first 4 seasons, but it's not going in the great direction that I would like it to have gone. So,
I really feel like they just got a little lazy and they were like, oh, we've already announced there's going to be 50 bajillion sequels to Power. So
I just don't get how there's so many spin-offs. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know 50 Cent's a money guy, but like, I am looking forward to the Tommy spin-off. I've forgotten his name. Force, I think it's called. Like, that's the one I'm most looking forward to. Apparently, Raising Kanan is pretty good. That's the other thing that I was really peed off about. So spoilers: 50 Cent's character gets killed off in season 5. Like,
fucking time! He should have died in the 2nd season.
No, I actually thought he was brilliant. Like,
no, come on! Like in that fire, the thing, and it's like, oh my God! If you're gonna kill someone, like, make sure that they're dead. This is
but I loved it when Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy were like all back together again at the end of season 4, and they were going to be united. But that united thing literally lasted about 1 episode in season 5. I was like, it's like so much for that. Like, and all the friction starts coming back again. So I actually wanted to see them all like as a team throughout the whole season and like kind of
gross.
I didn't talk about them like kissing and stuff.
No, I just don't. I never liked 50 Cent's character in Power. Like every time he was on screen, it was just like, ugh.
No, so do you know what the weird thing is? I agree with you. Like, he was too much when he was in it. I think during season 2, he was like a really big character. Like, he really wanted to take over the show, and like me and my wife actually agreed he was in it too much. Like, but like, probably the best thing to say is like he is better in it in smaller amounts. Like, that's what I liked for him. When he's in it in smaller amounts. And that's why I liked the team up approach, because it wasn't just him. when he was in it, it was kind of he'd take over an episode or whatever. So I don't know. Like I liked it when he was a smaller part, but anyway, he's gone now. So yeah, obviously the Raising Kanan spinoff will be a younger actor, but apparently it's pretty good. But anyway, like season 6, I just want to get it done now. Like
you've come too far.
Oh yeah, I watched it all. May as well finish it.
Yeah.
But we started watching season 3 of Snowpiercer the other day as well, and I know you love the movie, but the TV series is so much better than the film. Honestly, like the film is awful. I honestly though would like. I don't know what Snowpiercer plans are. Like if there's going to be a 4th season or not, but I really would like if they just end it this season. I just don't see the need to drag things on and on.
Yeah, I never watched the 2nd season.
Well, now like it's kind of feel like they're dragging into fantasy now. So what's the main guy called? Andre Layton. So in the episode 2 or 3, he starts getting flashes of potentially, so obviously it's a snow-covered planet, but he starts getting flashes of a potential garden on Earth where the sun is up.
Okay.
And I was like, no, don't be going into fantasy. Like it's a kind of it's been sci-fi, whatever, sci-fi drama for like the whole show. And now you're going into fantasy. Don't do it. I really hate it. It's like a cheap way out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Well, we can't figure out a way for them now to go from point A to point B. So we'll give Andre Layton flashes of an image.
Visions.
Yeah, visions. Yeah,
he's a visionary.
But if you've never done anything supernatural in the show before, I really think it's cheap to bring it in.
Yeah, at this stage.
Yeah, I think if you'd have had elements of supernatural teased like from day one,
yeah,
like maybe now is when you suddenly reveal it. Oh, cool! Final, nice twist.
Yeah.
But it's like they went away between season 2 and 3. I'm like, how do we get them to go from here to here? Oh, I know. Andre Layton gets visions. Okay. Like,
yeah.
Like I just like lazy writers. Like,
oh man.
Couldn't you have just had them pick something up on the satellite some of the satellites they were using?
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, like in the movie, they see it. Like they're like, we have passed by this airplane a bajillion times, and like now we can finally see the whole plane. Like something is changing out there.
Yeah, or like even if it was just that they detected a signal, like or a message or something, like suddenly they picked up a real faint message, and maybe it like some broken up like sentence which said something like "there's land" or something very vague, like, and that actually would be cool, because then it would be like that would be the mystery part, but it wouldn't be the fantasy part.
Yeah,
like honestly, they should hire me to come sort out these people.
Hey, TNT, did you hear that? Mark is available for consultation. Please reach out.
I mean, I really hope they don't F up this whole vision thing. So we'll see what happens.
We shall see.
I mean, they made a brilliant show in Falling Skies, so what could go wrong?
No comment.
That was sarcasm, by the way.
I know it was.
I watched all of Falling Skies and it got worse every season. But I couldn't not watch it. I was like,
see, that's something you got to work on. Like you stick with stuff way too long.
No, but I sometimes think I've got into it, so I can't finish. But that was actually probably like a younger me, sorry. The older me hasn't got time for that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I finally, I said this actually on the podcast before we stopped. After 18 years, stopped Grey's Anatomy. I said, I'm done. Like, I was like, this show just literally gets worse with every episode. Like, and Station 19, the spin-off, was never good. Like, it just was awful from the day they made it. Sorry, creators, by the way. Like, you're making a bad show. Sometimes sometimes networks just need to learn. Let's let it go.
Yeah, I don't know what sometimes they give up on stuff too early, and then sometimes they let stuff go way too long. Like, why are we bringing Law and Order back? Also, why is stuff like money. Why are the Simpsons still on the air? They've been on the air for 843 years.
I know. I think they were around in the 70s or something, weren't they?
They've been on the air for almost
when I
30
was a
years.
kid.
It's over
They were
20
when I was a
years.
kid. Yeah, when I was a kid, like definitely when I was like at least 8 or 9, they were on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's been over 30 years. I don't know.
Yeah. 30 years and these fucking kids are still in elementary school. Like the hell.
That's the other thing. They don't age. Every
Right.
episode is the same. The status quo is reset by the end of every episode.
Right.
Like I think there are some marginal changes when some of the voice actors leave. They do kill people off or whatever. But other than that, I would have loved it by now if they'd have jumped forward to like Bart and Maggie and been teenagers and like maybe kind of explored that a little bit.
Yeah. No dice. No dice.
So do you want to? I've grabbed 2 pieces of news. You want to jump into the news? Like,
Yeah, let's go.
So we're not going to obviously cover all the flippant news. We just saw a couple of things that we thought were interesting.
Yeah.
I'm mostly interested of this one. So I Am Legend is getting a sequel. Now, that sequel will also star Michael B. Jordan. Okay, cool. But apparently Will Smith. Now,
did they watch the first movie?
Maybe
I'm
they
pretty
watched
sure
it.
in that first movie, he blew himself up with a grenade. I'm pretty sure.
So there is an
spoiler. Sorry.
Maybe they watched the one with the alternate ending where he survived. So there is an alternate ending. I have seen it. He did survive in the alternate ending.
Have you seen neither one of the endings is indicative of the book. The book was much different. In the book, he actually killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed the book a lot more because in the book they go into a lot more depth and detail about the pseudo vampires, and how they were intelligent enough to have actually formed like a new version of society. So the implications in the book were a lot more interesting to me, because in the book, like he was in the book, Will Smith's character was the villain, and the vampires were like the good guys. So that was a super interesting twist. But yeah, like I don't know, like if they're gonna bring Will Smith back, the only thing I can think is like they're gonna do flashbacks, and we talk about flashbacks all the time on Geeks Unleashed, and it's like very few people do flashbacks properly. Like,
well, that's what we started guessing, didn't we? Like, is Will Smith's character actually, did he survive, or is it just going to be that Michael B. Jordan's in the present and Will Smith's in the past? Like, is it gonna jump between the two? I reckon that's where they'll go. I don't really want that. Like, I would be happy. I'd be more than happy for a I Am Legend sequel that just literally is 20 years later, Michael B. Smith, like
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Sorry, Michael B. Jordan. Sorry, God, where would I get Smith from? I go Will Smith. Yeah, like so Michael B. Jordan. I would just be more than happy if they just said, okay, it's a follow-on, and Michael B. Jordan is set in the present time.
Yeah,
like whatever.
He's one of the people that was in the colony that they made it to.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, yeah, maybe like even if you wanted to bring in like 1 or 2 Will Smith flashbacks, fine. Like, but I don't want it to be that, I don't know, every 10 minutes we're flipping between 2 timelines following Will Smith. Yeah. Or if you want to do a prequel film with just Will Smith, do a prequel film. Like show the original outbreak, whatever, like, and see Will Smith, kind of building the little fortress home that he had, and all those kind of things, and almost have it follow up to the day it happened. Well, Will Smith looks pretty good still. He could easily do a prequel, like, put a bit of makeup on him. So
he's ageless. I think it has something to do with Scientology. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what they do in there?
Is he a Scientologist?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a shame. For him. Mainly.
Oh man, yeah. All right, so we don't know what they're going to do with that. There are very, very few details. That was just announced.
Yeah. It says I don't know. He says Akvia Goldsman. He's going to return as writer and producer. There's no director. There's not really a lot here. So, but Will Smith did share an image on his Instagram, like, because obviously Will Smith's cool now. Yeah, like he's everywhere. Will Smith.
Well, he just won. What was it? A SAG? He just won something for King Richard, which is the film about tennis star Venus and Serena's father.
Did you know that the I Am Legend originally made $256 million domestic and almost 590 million US dollars worldwide?
Did not know that. Wow, that's a lot of money. But also,
I-
like, it's Warner Brothers, so you kind of are not too surprised when Warner Brothers makes a lot of money.
Did you know that Will Smith used to be in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
What?
I know,
No.
it's shocking, isn't it? Yeah, that's like, and he played a character called Will Smith.
Have you watched the new one, Bel Air?
No, I want to.
I haven't seen it either.
I want to see it though. Like I remember watching the sort of the trailer that they made for it like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it was like somebody made like a pitch trailer, and Will Smith actually like loved it, and I think has tried to help get this made. And I actually do want to watch it. So
Well,
one day.
One day.
One day. So before we move on, would you watch this I Am Legend sequel?
Yes. I mean, kind of have to, right? Like,
Yeah, I want to know. Like,
I'm curious. I'm curious as to what they're gonna do. Like, I'm curious if they're going to go back to the book and we're actually going to get to see the society that the other creatures have created, or if they're going to keep with the, oh, humanity has to survive and we got to kill them at all costs kind of thing.
I'm like, I would like it if somehow Will Smith survived the grenade. Like, it's unlikely.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
hugely, it's probably like 95% unlikely. But it would be, I would much more prefer that he'd survived. So that's just my take on it. Maybe he just has got like one arm missing.
I mean, the explosion was big enough to kill all of those things in the room with him too. So I don't know.
Maybe it's not how it went. Like maybe that's how we thought it went, and somehow he survived.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Maybe what will happen is the film will start about half an hour before that, when I can't remember the girl, but it was the girl from Queen of the South when she was younger.
Alice Braga.
That was the girl. That was the girl. Yeah, she sort of showed up towards the end. Maybe this is what I reckon will happen in the sequel. She falls asleep, and the last 10-15 minutes of the film was a dream.
That's terrible. This is not Dallas, where a whole season is a dream.
That's where I was going with. I was thinking of the Bobby Ewing thing. Like, turns around the shower. Like,
I shot JR.
She goes upstairs, and Will Smith walks out of the shower and is like, "Is there something I missed?" And she's like, "Oh, I just had a really terrible dream."
Oh my God, that would be. I would get up and walk out of the theater, like for real.
I actually would die if they did that. Like,
oh my God,
gets out of the
shower. So fucking awful.
I know. Like, by the way, said maybe TNT shouldn't hire me now. I've undone all that good work I did a minute ago.
Oh man, look, you messed it up for yourself there, man.
I know. Honestly, it'd be so funny if like Will
that
Smith
would be
steps out.
awful. Come on, like that'd be so horrible. Nobody would be able to take that seriously.
I know. Do you know what though? They've wanted to make this sequel for years.
Yeah, for a long time.
Basically, I think they didn't realize how big it was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they were like, how on earth? Like, who decided to kill Will Smith off? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why for years they were talking about making a prequel, because they wanted Will Smith back.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like, well, the only option now is a prequel, because we can't do a sequel because we killed him.
Yeah.
Like, and we killed him in such a way that like, how does he survive? Like,
grand fashion. Like, he didn't just get shot and then the camera pans away. No, there was a grenade and then there was an explosion and then we saw the explosion.
I just like maybe think the only way he survives is he's got no arms or no legs, and like maybe.
Okay, but how is he going to be like a geneticist with no arms and no legs, or a chemist or whatever the hell he was?
Maybe they like give him robot arms. And legs.
So it's like a mashup of I Am Legend and iRobot.
Yeah. That's maybe we find out that I Am Legend is the prequel to iRobot.
That I would watch. That I'd watch. I actually love iRobot. I love that movie.
Oh, I can't remember.
I read those books too. That was a series of short stories.
Yeah. So anyway, jokes aside, what's next?
Next piece of news. Another thing that they're adding on to a thing that is already established. Hulu is doing its own version of Alien.
Yeah.
Same people that did Evil Dead and Don't Breathe. The director, Fede Alvarez. So far, no details whatsoever, except for it is unconnected to the previous films. So does that mean that this is going to be a prequel? Because you have to go super far back in time for this to not be connected to the other alien film. Like, even if you're trying to not connect it to Prometheus.
No, Prometheus, that's it, yeah.
I don't know how you do an alien movie and it's not connected to any of the alien films or lore. I mean,
I don't get it.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
maybe this is where Will Smith went, like from I Am Legend.
Maybe. And maybe they'll bring Idris Elba back.
Oh, they should put Predators in here too.
Oh man, the first Alien versus Predator was so really good. It was so good. God, I enjoyed that one
such a good
much.
Movie.
Yeah,
that was honestly an amazing film. So good.
Yeah,
and then they made that awful sequel.
Oh my god, terrible.
What happened?
Terrible. I have no idea.
But honestly, you make such a good, like, honestly, Alien versus. Do you know? I actually want to watch that again.
AVP, so good. Every time I catch that, like on cable, I will stop what I'm doing and I will watch it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Aliens versus Predator, so good.
Mm-hmm. It's the first and only time I've ever rooted for the Predator.
I might just stop this podcast now, actually, and go and watch this.
Thanks so much, guys, for coming back. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
No, Aliens vs Predator, honestly, that was a really good film. I remember watching that, like, and I was like, how have they made such a good film? Because I kept thinking to myself, like, how are you going to make it so that we care about either side?
Right.
So, but like, yeah, you rooted for Predator.
Yeah, and that was the first time, like the first time I rooted for the Predator.
But it was good though, like, because you actually wanted to be on the Predator side.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So who knows? Who knows? It's not connected. Which basically means that gives them a free pass to do whatever the hell they want. At the very least, it cannot be worse than, what was it, The Covenant or Covenant? Whatever was the sequel to Prometheus.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, it can't be worse than that. That's my hope at the very least.
No, I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Mark, it can't be worse than that. And it can't be worse than Alien versus Predator 2.
Anything's possible.
Even Predators was not that bad.
I liked Predators.
I did like Predators. They filmed that in Austin. Yeah. That was one of those things where it was like, oh my God, I'm watching a movie that takes place in outer space, but like, I've been there. I know where that is. I do.
Yeah, I've not been there, but to outer space or Austin.
Yeah. I've never been to outer space yet.
Mm-hmm. One day when Elon Musk lets me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna hitch a ride with
my boy Elon.
What's the guy's name from Virgin Atlantic?
Is it Elon?
Elon
Musk. That's it. Elon. Sorry, Elon Musk. Yeah. Sorry, Elon. I got your name wrong. But yeah, he'll let me up there one day in his boat thing.
Yeah, in his Tesla.
Yeah, sure. Tesla. Yeah. I mean, he's already got me 5 in the drive.
I mean, hey. I have a friend that works at NASA. She used to train astronauts. Maybe she can like hook it up and we can go to Geeks in Space.
That's what we should do. Like Fast and Furious. We should just link up the Tesla, and we should record from space.
Oh my God.
You realize we really don't know what we're doing anymore now.
We our apologies. Like, we have completely forgotten how to podcast, how to format, how to follow a script. Like, all of those things are just gone out the window. So.
Okay,
sorry.
So
stick with us though.
We'll move on to our main feature, A Discovery of Witches, the final season.
Oh man, I've been so excited to talk about this.
So do you want to
all right, so Discovery of Witches is based on a trilogy of books, the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness. This third and final season was written by Lisa Hodsworth, Helen Rayner, Michelle Gale, Matt Evans, and Christopher Cornwell. Directed by Jamie Donahue and Debs Patterson. It stars a ton of people, all faces that you're familiar with, except they changed Baldwin. Baldwin that character was recast this season, but everybody else is back. Same players, same faces, same everything. So, oh man, and it's only 7 episodes. It's much shorter than the second season, which was kind of a bummer because I got so into this that by the time I got to episode 7, I was like, no, that can't be the end. It's over.
It did feel shorter. Like, so I guess summarize our thoughts. I personally didn't enjoy season 3.
What?
No, not really. Like, it was
Hold
okay.
on. It was my favorite. Oops, of the 3 seasons.
I love season 1. I absolutely love season 2. Season 3 was okay, but it just felt like rushed.
Rushed?
Well, it was like 7 episodes. Like, and I don't know. Like, it was just okay to me. Like,
oh man, I absolutely loved the 3rd season. I thought
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it.
There was a lot of tension in this 3rd season. There was actually quite a bit of payoff to a lot of the things that had built up from the first 2 seasons. The way that everything sort of played out, everything was a little bit more conniving. The subplots were a little bit more treacherous. I will say though, there was a big lack of like climax for the main villains for the 3rd season. But
that's what I really enjoyed
the way that
there was no big battle. There's no big battle at the end. I wanted a big battle.
I loved that there wasn't, because I loved that Diana was just like, fuck you, I ain't got time for this. Like, you die and you die and you die and I'm moving on. Like, I did love how badass she was at the end. She walked in and basically like took over, and like she actually, it was more strategy that she used to kick their asses. Like I mean, like chess type strategy rather than she was not playing checkers.
No, I was thinking like more like chess rather than like WWE. Like, it was like, you know, she came in and just sat down and talked and like won by conversation.
Oh, you mean at the end with the covenant? Yeah, right
at the very end. So whilst I felt underwhelmed because there was no big battle, I was impressed by like how she just pulled up a chair and was like, look, this is a shit. And everyone was like, yep, hands up, except for who was it,
Jobert?
So he was not happy, but I liked that was it Domenico? He actually put his hand up and actually voted with her as well. But there was like this reluctance, and he was like, I think he thought, you know what, everyone else is doing it, hands up, like, so was it just me, or did Alex Kingston not look like Alex Kingston during season 3? Have I missed something? I just felt like she looked really different.
Different how?
I don't know. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I knew it was Alex Kingston, but I don't know. I just kept feeling like she was just looked different. I don't know why.
No, she looked like a grieving wife to me.
Maybe that's what it was. Like, she just looked different.
Well, yeah, because she was unhappy for 6 of the 7 episodes, so she was just freaking miserable this season.
She just looked different. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, I knew it was Alex Kingston, but she just looks different. That was just something. It's not really a review type comment, really, but it's just, I just felt like she just looked different, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, I know it's Alex Kingston, but I just can't.
I just think she just looked so unhappy for most of it.
Yeah, no.
The only time she was really like happy was when Diana was having the babies.
No, I know that her character was grieving, but like, I just couldn't put my finger on it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just that she did such a good job of showing grief that I just couldn't. That she just looked so different from the previous.
Yeah.
So, anyway, like, yeah, I mean, like I say, overall summary, I didn't love this season, but I did like, there was one payoff I particularly did like, but we can talk about that in a minute. Do you have any favorite characters?
I'm probably not going to deviate too much from what I said like last season. I have always liked Domenico, because I always thought that Domenico was opportunistic, but like the best kind of opportunistic, to where he's the only person you could ever trust because you know he's always going to look out for his best interest. So Domenico was still one of my favorites, even though he doesn't have as much screen time. But when he was on screen, a lot of him working through the chess game was very strategic. And I thought that they used him well in this third season. So Domenico, I also really liked Gallowglass. And the new Baldwin, who is played by Peter McDonald, I really enjoyed that recasting. I thought that Peter McDonald was a much better choice for Baldwin. Like, he embodied the I would say like air of superiority so much better than the previous Baldwin from the first two seasons. So yeah, he was actually one of my favorites, just because he was such a miserable git the whole third season.
I think for me, I loved seeing the evolution of Diana Bishop in terms of like an existing character, that is.
Yeah.
So like Diana Bishop, obviously played by Teresa Palmer. I love how, like, if you think back to the very first episode, how sort of vulnerable and naive she was. And then look at that final season when she comes in, like, kicks their asses. Like, not physically kicks their asses, just pulls up a chair. Like I said a minute ago, pulls up a chair and basically talks them round, and she wins. Like, and how powerful a witch she is now as well. Like, I love seeing that evolution. And this is something I was talking about. Actually, we were talking about this off air. Like, I've recorded an episode with TM Nerdy, and I think it's going to be released in like 2 or 3 weeks' time on his YouTube channel. And he was asking me if I preferred TV over film or vice versa, and I said I love film, but I prefer TV because because TV gives you the ability to see the evolution of characters, where film you have to do evolution within 2 hours, or an hour and a half. Where, like, Diana Bishop's characters had 8 episodes season 1, 10 episodes season 2, and 7 in this episode. So, you know, pretty much under 30 episodes. And so we've been able to see the growth of Diana throughout these 3 seasons. And I just love seeing that first girl versus now.
Yes.
And yeah, she was my favorite, like, existing character.
Such a powerhouse. Like, the way, and it's like you said, like, it's so enjoyable to see because you know what she was like in the first season. So the girl who couldn't even use her ability because she was bound comes out and, like, just puts everyone in their place. Like, she's so confident in her abilities, and she uses everything that she's learned. She doesn't hesitate. She doesn't beat around the bush. And, like, she is just so damn determined. She's like, nope, they got Matthew. I know I'm walking into a trap, but I got to go get him. So let's go do this shit. And it's just like, she's so just down to business.
I don't really remember her in anything else, but I just quickly got it up. So she was in
I Am Number 4.
Yeah, I was about to say that. She was in I Am Number 4, Sorcerer's Apprentice. I've seen both of those, but I don't remember her in either of those.
She's Australian, I think, and I Am Number 4.
She was in the new Point Break, which I do remember watching, but don't remember it. The film, that is.
That's a great sign.
I mean, like the original, I remember like that so much more. But there's, like, literally, like, on her profile, nothing that really jumps out at me, like, as something I'm bothered about. Anyway, in terms of new characters, and this is a great payoff. I love things like this. Season 2, they're in time. They kind of meet a little boy who comes under their wings and becomes their son, and then they go back to the future. I mean, it's not. That was not deliberate. That was not deliberate. They went back. They did go back to the future, like, and then they get reintroduced to their son, who's now a vampire, Jack, played by Toby Rigbo, like, who's from Rain, and I know him from Rain, which that's not a good show.
No, terrible.
Like, I watched the first season of it.
Of course, you did.
I have not watched it. I do you know what? I would actually like to finish that show off, because I actually have to say the CW doesn't often make shows like that. So I'm not saying I'm going to. I just feel like if I one day have nothing to do,
I would rather take a nap. Like, if I had nothing else to do, I'd rather take a nap than watch Rain.
But that might make you take a nap.
Like, I mean, well, touche.
Yeah, but
when you put it that way.
Like, but anyway, let's not talk about Rain. But anyway, he's from Rain. That's the only thing I know him from. He may be in other things. I don't care. But I love the fact that they brought him back. So Jack from season 2, little boy that they loved, comes back, and he's now like Jack the adult. And he is and I know, like we talked about this, but he was essentially the serial killer throughout season 2 when they kept flashing back to the present day. And obviously we didn't know who it was. And I did look at the notes that you've written down a minute ago, like later on for this episode. But I do love the fact that actually the twist of it was somebody they know. So that is clever. That's when I like it, when it's clever writing. Not stupid Andre Layton getting bloody visions. But when it's clever writing, they set up a serial killer in season 2, they don't tell you who it is. Then in season 3, you find out that serial killer was the little boy that they met in the past. That to me was clever. So,
that was a nice twist, because they kind of essentially did both things. Like, it was not any of the main characters, but at the same time, it was still someone you actually cared about.
Oh, it's like when the reveal came, like, first of all, we get the reveal that this is Jack from the 18th century or whenever it was. And then we get the follow on, like, you know, the 1-2 punch. Then we find out that he's the serial killer from season 2. We're like, no way. I was like, that's so good. Like, clever. Like, I was so worried that he was going to get a really bad ending, though. Like,
I know, it was dodgy when they were down there in New Orleans.
Yeah, I thought he might get killed off at one point, but yeah, he got to live. So, sorry, spoilers. Anyway, comparing this to the previous seasons, what's your opinion?
I think, well, clearly we're going to disagree here. I think
I didn't hate it.
No, not hating it. But I think that this season did. I mean, I think this season did the work the best, because we got to see the full range of everyone's characters. Like, it wasn't just getting to see Diana like fully evolve, but like we got to see Matthew go full circle. We got to see Isabeau go full circle. We got to see so many characters kind of do a complete 360, and then how everyone kind of came out so much stronger on the back end. Granted, that's probably because it was the final season. It was their last opportunity to make that happen. But the way that it came together so well. And for me, this third season really told a tight story. It didn't deviate. Like, my beef with the second season was I did not like the split. I would rather them have picked one and stuck with it, versus like we're getting a half a season in the 1500s and then a half season in the present day. So I think this season actually took, you know, the notes from the previous 2 seasons and just kind of tightened everything up. And I really appreciated that, because sometimes like final seasons tend to drag on just because it's like, this is our last shot. Like, we want to do this. And there's all this gratuitous content. And it's like,
they want to throw everything in the kitchen sink.
And it's like, that's not necessary. So they really stuck to their guns. They told a really tight story. And then when it got to the end, I had mentioned that it was like anticlimactic, the big fight at the end, because there was no fight. But I thought that just went toward them being so dedicated to showing you that this show was about the evolution of Diana Bishop. And so it wasn't about her fighting her way to save her husband. It was her stepping into her power and realizing that she was powerful enough that she didn't have to fight anybody. And so I thought that the story that they told about Diana was just so well done. It was very linear. There was no distractions, no like red herrings. It was just kind of like, this has always been the end goal, even from the first season, like them finding the book, them getting the missing pages, like the goal has always been the same. And there were just far fewer distractions. So it was just so much easier to keep up with everything that they had going for this season. So I think that if I would say that this season did its linear storytelling much better than the previous 2 seasons.
I think, this season, like, it was like a kind of, like you said, typical last season, that it was they had a drive towards a finish, and that finish wasn't like, oh, we just decided today, like, actually what we're going to do is we're going to kind of deviate from what we've set the scenes for in 1 and 2. It was like you say, it was the pages. Obviously the Jack twist was something from season 2, but like it was, they kind of pulled a lot together. I think though, because this does happen in a lot of final seasons, where like they kind of set up a thing for each season, which kind of will get resolved. Like, I don't know whether it's, I'm not talking about necessarily this, but like they'll set up the villain of the season.
Right.
But whilst also telling the longer term plan, a longer term story. This, to me, it was just literally, it was all about wrapping stuff up, and also the drive to the finish.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't love it as much, because I do love, the thing is, I love these characters, and I probably would like to have seen, I would have been happy with like 4 seasons, like, and we had something else happen this season, like mystery, or I don't know. But then again, the other thing is, and I've said this and you say it too, I would rather people didn't waste time giving us content that we don't need.
Yes.
So
there are no filler episodes in this season.
So that's something I have to say I like, that there was no fillers, and we just got the story and got it wrapped up. And yes, I would love to have seen a big fight at the end, but then equally, I think it was pretty cool that Diana just walked in and charmed the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Also, I think Benjamin was just a weak villain. Like, I understand
that
they needed a foil for Matthew, but like, I don't know, Gilbert and even Peter Knox, they were both much, much better villains than Benjamin was. Like, just his motives didn't seem like enough to me, because to me, Benjamin is like very small picture. He's like, I want to make Matthew miserable, and I don't care how that happens. Whereas like with Gilbert and Peter Knox, it was like literally a 3-season long game of their villainy and like all of the dirty, underhanded things that they had done over the course of the series that really kind of elevated their villain status to me.
Yeah, I think Peter Knox is a villain I pretty much love. Like, he's probably the best villain in this.
I really thought that they were going to throw him into those helicopter blades. I was waiting on it. I was waiting on death by helicopter. That did not happen. I was a little bit disappointed. But at the same time, when, oh gosh, what is her name? On the Alex Kingston's character. She's not M. Anyway, when Alex Sarah, yeah. So when they get to the airport and Peter Knox is there, and then Galaglass gets out, and Sarah is just like, this is witch business. And I was like, oh shit, something about to go down. So I really did love the way that they just kind of got rid of him too.
Yeah, I love Peter Knox's villain character. Well, sorry, he's obviously the character. I love that, but I didn't, like you say, I didn't like the other sort of villains of the show. I did love that Domenico did actually turn, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one of my wishes.
You could see the look on his face. He's like, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. Oh crap! Oh, yeah.
And you could see it, like, but you could see him turning early in the season when he started to connect the dots in his head. Yeah, I think it's about episode 3 that him and Baldwin have a conversation, and it's kind of like even Baldwin is like surprised that Domenico is being so forthcoming, and it's like he did everything that he did because he wanted a seat on the congregation, and now that he has a seat, he's like, do I really need Peter Knox and Gilbert anymore? I'm not so sure.
So what about the structure of the show? Like, how do you think that went?
Like I said, I think they did well. I thought it was nice and tight, no fillers.
Yeah, I think
they didn't waste any time. Yeah. It was short, sweet, to the point.
So I'll talk about Power earlier. 6 seasons, 15 episodes is the last season, where most of them have been like 8. And I was like, 15 of this rubbish. Like, it's not rubbish, but I'm not really enjoying season 6.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to question why we've had 6 seasons. Admittedly, some of them were good at the beginning, but none of them I would say are good now. And the last season of Power, 15 episodes to wrap it up. I'm like, do we really need to spend 15 episodes? Like, couldn't you have just made them like 6 or 7 episodes, like Discovery of Witches?
Yes.
7 episodes to wrap stuff up. And as long as, you're happy with the ending, like that should be all you need. Like,
Right.
don't get me wrong, there's going to be people that didn't like the ending. But like for those, that's what I mean. Discovery of Witches, I think it's a nice, short, tight last season. We don't have to spend 2 to 3 episodes wandering around like a town or something, or a forest or something. Like I said, I know I criticized that length a minute ago, but it's only because I actually think the character of Diana and Matthew are really interesting, and I would like to see more. I didn't think there was enough of them as a couple throughout the show.
Yeah, they kept kind of getting pulled in different directions.
Yeah. I mean, obviously at the end it's nice, but
yeah,
throughout the season they kind of are on their own to a degree. So I did like the scenes quite early on though, where they'd managed to hook in a bunch of students to come work for them. And like not students, but like, well, I think some of them were, but
because she went to her friend Chris for help with like all the genetic stuff.
Yeah, like, well, I just love that they actually decided they're going to have to trust people to help them. So, which really went against Matthew and Diana to a degree, their characters. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I think the structure was good. I can't put my finger on it. I just didn't love it for some reason. I don't know why, like the show itself, but I did love that it was sort of organized, that we didn't have to waste time and didn't get any fillers.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think I can see where you're coming from though, with them splitting up Matthew and Diana, because they were each taking their own journey in this season. Diana's role was to get a hold of the book, get all the pages, get a hold of the book and figure that out. Matthew's job was to stop Benjamin. So they couldn't be on the same path because they both had different tasks. And I think that's also what helped push the season along. If we had 10 episodes like we did last season, I think we probably would have had a lot more of them together. But then it's like, but you guys don't need to be together. Like, to be more efficient, you split up, do what you got to do, and then you have all the time in the world.
So I talked about my thing a minute ago, predictions for season 2. But so first thing, yes, like I like the fact that you actually went and did this. Did you go and listen to our episode or read our notes?
Yes, I did. I went back and I re-listened.
I didn't think to do that. Like, I wish I'd have thought to do that. It was good. Clever. Well done.
Yay. I remembered something about podcasting.
So you put Mark hoped that the Blood Rage vampire in London wasn't a random character. I didn't remember saying that. So I think that's pretty cool that you looked that up. So well done, Jasmin. And well done on the show for not making it a random character. Because I think I would have said that too, because that would have been an annoying thing for me, just to have it be a character that no one gave a crap about.
Right.
Because they teased it throughout season 2, didn't resolve it at the end of season 2. So you're going into season 3 not knowing who this character was. And if it was like Dave that works in the pub, who we've never met before.
Sorry, Dave.
That would have been such a letdown. But to have it be that it was Jack, who we'd met as a kid throughout the thing, I was like, that is a twist. That is good. So that's probably one of my favorite parts about season 3 was the twist of that.
So I was very wrong about that, because I had said that I thought when they went back in time that they ended up displacing the Matthew that was already there. And so I thought that they just kind of flipped. So they went back in time, and then the old Matthew came forward in time.
Okay. Yeah,
so I thought that the Blood Rage vampire was Matthew, but like old Matthew, right?
Oh, like I see what you're saying. Like when they went in the past, it pushed the past one to the present.
Right.
And he was like crazy insane in the future.
Yeah, because I knew that he was a carrier for Blood Rage, but so like it never occurred to me, because at the time in season 2, Jack was a kid and he was not a vampire. So yeah, I thought it was Matthew. So I was wrong about that, but I am okay with it being Jack. I was okay with when we found out who it was. And the other thing that I really wanted, and I actually said, like, I really wanted Domenico to step up and stick it to both Peter Knox and Jobert, and he did. And I'm super, super stoked about that, because like I said, I love a good opportunistic villain. And Domenico just kind of realized, like, I was helping you guys because ultimately you were going to get me the thing that I wanted, but now that you no longer serve my purpose, like I don't have to be in league with you. So he was opportunistic enough to realize, like, I don't have to do this because, you know, on a personal note, I really do think that y'all are full of shit. So I love the way that he sidestepped Peter Knox and Jobert and did his own thing and left Jobert out in the cold all by his lonesome. I love it.
So summarize your thoughts. Like, I guess you could summarize and rate at the same time. Like,
okay,
what are your thoughts?
I absolutely love the message that this series for all 3 seasons was presenting. And that was something that I talked about when we covered season 2 as well, was the way forward is together. So what is revealed with the genetics and the blood rage is that every creature has demon DNA, and it's the demon DNA that kind of keeps everything in check. Yeah. So essentially, when you keep everyone separated, you're weakening all of the species because they're all stronger together. And sure, I'm being idealistic, but I just love that. Like, you can't expect to be better, do better, grow stronger if you're always excluding entire groups of people. Like, it doesn't work that way. And so I love that message. I love that is kind of just how it all ended, where it's just kind of like, look, we're dying out. And the reason that we're dying out is because we've been segregated for so long. So we need to stick together in order for all of us, not just one of us to survive, but like for all of us to survive, we have to stick together. So I really, really love that. And even at the very end with Agatha and her son, and Agatha was the head of the demons, where she finally gets back, you know, in touch with them. And it's just like a mini family reunion there. I love it. I love the mix. We got so many different species, different races, different genders. We had gay couples, we had a lesbian couple. Like, there was just so much representation. And that's really, aside from the absolutely gorgeous scenery and set designs in this entire series, just the diversity of it is really, really what drew me in and what I love so much. So that never changed from one season to the next for me. So to summarize, the way forward is together. I loved it. I love that message. And I did enjoy season 3 more than the other 2. So if I'm rating, I would rate this a solid 4.
But you know what though, like that whole thing about we're stronger together than separate, like that can be compared to so many things in real life. Like, I mean, racism and every other ism going, like, you know. But
the thing is, they don't do it like heavy-handed. And I think because they're using like creatures and stuff like that, it has that sci-fi element to it. But there's always that underlying thing that, like, clearly we're just like, stop hating on people just because of what they are. Like, hate on an individual for what they do, not what they are. So yeah, it's definitely applicable to real life, minus the vampire demon witch part.
I do love, like, I said it a minute ago, I didn't love this show this season because I think I loved 1 and 2 because we got to spend more time with them, and you know, and this happens with so many shows, like you get to go and see them do little side things or whatever. But this season was very much, and I don't fault it for it, but this season spent a lot of time driving towards the finish line, and this happens a lot in final seasons. Like, they're happy to kill people off, they're happy to, you know, blow shit up or whatever because they're trying to drive forward towards the end.
Right.
And that's kind of one of the things I hate about final seasons is like they could kill anybody now, like because a lot of the time in final seasons they're prepared. Well, they know that it's the final season, so they're like, you know, if we're going to kill off someone, we're going to kill someone off.
Yeah.
So I guess it's probably just me being a bit selfish. I would have liked a little bit more time with like Diana.
I mean, I think that's fair. Because like you do get attached to these characters, and you did get to watch them grow. Because not only Diana grew, Matthew changed a lot over the course of these seasons. So it's like you're losing people that you actually care about. So yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I don't know. I guess I didn't love it, but I didn't. I can't fault the season. Like, it didn't do anything to offend me.
Right.
It's just maybe I'm selfish. So, like, okay, I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5.
Okay,
Like,
well, that's what we rated season 2, 3.5.
we're probably doing joint things back then. Like,
Yeah, we were.
joint. Yeah. I wonder what it would have been. I think I would have gone higher.
I think you did go higher and I went lower because I did not enjoy season 2 as much.
So, okay, I think if it was individually, I probably would have given it 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so that's done. No more Discovery of Witches.
Oh, now that you say that, it is kind of a bummer. Like, I was very much looking forward to season 3. I'm happy with the way that things ended. I'm happy that our people won. Happy that the good guys came out on top.
The witches.
Yeah. No, like I wish we had gotten more like of the demons, but yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, and I'm super glad that they didn't waste any time fighting with Benjamin. Like, I'm really thrilled that she literally just walked down that hallway. He stood in the way, and she was like tying that knot, and she was like, "Nope, I'm out. I ain't got time to deal with you."
So in our next episode, which will be next week, we may skip an episode here and there, but next week we are back. So our next episode, we are going to review. I've not seen it. Jasmin has, so don't voice any opinions right now. Peacemaker season 1 from HBO.
Yes, HBO Max.
Yeah, so we're back with a comedy by the sounds of it.
Man.
You can follow Geeks and Niche everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Come say hi.
Yeah,
come buy us shit.
Buy us a coffee, buy us a comic. HBO Max is not cheap. It is $14.99 a month. So just saying, throw a little change our way. Yeah. And you can also listen to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts: Google, Podbean, Apple, Spotify. We are everywhere. So please leave us a 5-star review and tell your geeky friends.
And we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Good journey.
All that shit.